David Brewster here with another 3 for All, and this is 3 Joey Tafolla Licks from 1992. And Joey Tafolla is another, Shrapnel Records alumni, kind of hit the scene in the, mid to late 80s and early 90s. And I definitely remember, seeing his name kind of pop up in guitar magazines and the old Shrapnel Records, advertisement that they would run in guitar magazines. And when I was a kid, I remember I'd look at that ad and I would look at the album covers and the names of the albums and the artists and the bands or whatever. And then I would read the description and try to get an idea of what the album maybe sounded like. And I definitely remember, Out of the Sun, Joey Tafolla's, debut. It had, like a little blurb about, Tony MacAlpine, produced it. Wally Voss, played bass, and Paul Gilbert, played guitar, like a guest appearance. And I remember when I was a kid and I saw that and I thought, wait a minute, Paul Gilbert's on Joey Tafolla's album. Joey Tafolla must be great if Paul Gilbert's, working with them or recording with them. And he is, phenomenal guitarist. Joey's definitely kind of a legend of shred guitar, and he started with the band Jag Panzer and, kind of recorded their debut, left the group and became, a solo artist and started working, with Shrapnel. And then eventually Chris Broderick, from Megadeth, formerly of Megadeth, but he started working with Jag Panzer, and, Joey came back. I think they did release, a couple other albums with Joey, and there was a release from 2017 with Joey Tafolla with Jag Panzer. But, he released, instructional material back in the day. I do have a VHS copy of his shredding, REH video, and, solo albums, and just a lot of great, music. Definitely a big Carvin, guitarist back in the day. But Joey's a guitarist to notice and kind of pick up, and there's little pieces of, clinics and bootlegs and some live footage online. But definitely check out Joey Tafolla, great player. The licks in this lesson actually came from a Carvin guitar clinic that Joey held, and I'm not really sure where it was located. I couldn't find it, in the description when I found this footage on YouTube. But it's really interesting, and the licks are going to come from a song of his called Six String Souffle, and there's these really cool, like quirky, position shifts and open string ideas, and the phrasing is the big thing I think you'll really pick up from, studying some of Joey's ideas. The way he puts his phrases and fills and licks and solos and stuff together, it's very unorthodox and unique. And when I was working on these licks, I thought, man, these are really cool. So there's some great licks, hiding in this lesson. The first lick is this really slippery, kind of open string based idea, and it's an A7, and it's really unorthodox. But when I kind of tapped into the lick, I thought, man, this is so cool. Something like this. One more time. So we're basically in A7, and we're sliding from that minor to major third right there, C to C sharp. And then we're also sliding there from F sharp to G. And then right there, you're going to grab the high E open. And then grab the 12th fret there and pull off. Grab that G, grab the C sharp. And then slide that A back to G. High E open, and you're going to do this. And right there, grab the high E open, pull off that C to the open E, and then slide F to F sharp. Like that. And then the high E on the 5th fret to the open E open, on that A note to open E, and then the C sharp to open E. And then you're going to go back to the C to C sharp slide that we started with. And then right here, you're going to pull off E to the open B, G to the open B, go back to that E, open B, and then F sharp, open B, and end on that E right there. Like that. Really cool lick. Really tricky too. So one more time, really slow. footage, and really, really cool too. Okay, next up we have this crazy intervallic string skipping idea. It's really, really cool, but it's very challenging. Something like this. One more time. So right there, we're starting with B major, and we're doing this. So we're kind of starting right there in the middle. And then you're grabbing this. One more time. And that's all B major based. And then this is A major. This is tricky. So right there. There was A major, then you're going to move up to E major right here. Reminds me of Paul Gilbert a little bit right there. So that's E major, and then you're going to move up to G major, and then A major. You're in a single, D sharp, and we're applying, B major. So that last, D sharp is kind of signaling back to B major. Terrifying lick, but I really like the way it's put together, and you're kind of skating between, different tonalities and kind of moving, through that progression. Okay, up next is an E7 speed lick, and I'm a big fan of speed licks when they create this blurry, shreddy kind of sound. And it's really basic, but it's also terrifying when you hear it. Something like this. One more time. And right there you can see we're basically grabbing, G, G sharp, and B up and down. And then grabbing that single E right there on the 14th fret on the D string. And then you repeat that over and over. And basically just start shredding that, as fast as you can. And it's really interesting because you're using all 4 of your fret hand fingers, and I'm a big fan of licks and, fingering patterns like that, where you can really exercise and work, all 4 of your fret hand digits. And I did make a basic variation of this. We're ending on this E note, and all I really did is kept the lick the same, and then I also included, this higher E up here. So you can do something like this. Kind of a cool variation of that idea, but check that lick out and make some variations of your own. Here's a bonus lick from this live footage, and it's the slip and slide intervallic idea. It's very challenging, but really cool. Something like this. One more time. So it basically starts right here, and we're doing this. It's intervallic. Really cool. And right there, you're grabbing that 6th, on the 16th fret on the G and the high E. And then right there, you're going to slide E down to this D sharp, and then grab E on the 12th fret there on the high E. Grab this G sharp. Then you're going to slide this E down to D, grab this F sharp and slide that down to E, and we're sliding these 6ths. Like that. Really cool. And then right there, we're going to come back up. Like that. slide this, you know, A to B basically, and grab this, you know, G sharp. Slide that G sharp up to B. And then right here, you're going to slide F sharp to G sharp, and then grab E. Slide this F to G sharp, grab E, and then you're going to bend this C sharp a half step up to D. And so very slowly, it's like this. You know, really challenging, and it's crazy, you know, the way it's kind of, you know, slipping and sliding and shifting around. But once again, I love the way it's put together. You know, once you hear it, it's like, man, that's a cool lick. It's really challenging and very difficult because you're moving and covering a lot of ground. But spend the time and kind of work on that. Just kind of slowly build this up. And one more time, kind of slower. You know, really sick lick. And it's just kind of random, where it's kind of spastic and you're hearing, you know, the notes and everything kind of flying around all over the place. And I love intervallic ideas like that, where you just really, it grabs your attention. You know, it's like, man, what the heck was that? Because you're hearing this jumble of notes. And so cool. That's going to wrap this look at 3 Joey Tafolla licks from 1992, and definitely Joey's kind of overlooked, you know, I mean, he definitely has a fan base. I've talked to a lot of people that love, you know, Out of the Sun and Jag Panzer and some of his releases. But then there are people that just, they don't know his name, they don't know his music, but you should, you know, dig around on YouTube and kind of find some of his music and listen to it. You can find clips of, you know, live footage and clinics and some different things from back in the day. But great guitarist, you know, very unique, you know, phrasing, the way he kind of puts his licks and ideas together. So refreshing, you know, and kind of inspiring, where it's like, man, you know, kind of shifting and sliding and moving around like that. So cool. So anyway, leave some feedback and some comments. Please subscribe to Night Lessons, and I'll be back before you know it with more content material. Thank you.